Here we are again. It's the Morning Cryptos. This is week number 17, day 113 of my 90-day challenge. Go deep into the rabbit hole of Bitcoin and the alt currencies, the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, Monero, and on and on and on we go. And here we are again. We're going to look at the charts. We're going to see what happened. We're going to check the news. We're going to just kind of get up to date and bring you up to speed for Monday, November 20th. Wow. Monday, November 20th. Here we go. Let's start the music. Let's get started. All right, well, Bitcoin didn't just touch 8,000 this time. Bitcoin went all the way to 8,162 US dollars. And we kind of expected that. There's a lot of money coming in. This could be the turning point, the tipping point, the rise of the rise. So, So the only thing is, once the newbies come in and they discover that it takes all day to get their Bitcoin and that the transaction fees are like really high, particularly for very small transactions, they'll just hold on to it. And that's okay. Hold on for dear life. I have some Bitcoin and it was $500 last week and now it's over $700. Rock on. I also did something else, which I'll tell you as soon as I just check the headlines here and just kind of take a quick glance at who's on top in the 24-hour volume here on World Coin Index. And what I'm demonstrating to you guys is just my daily process, and I do this all day actually, but I start in the morning not knowing what's really going on, and I share that with you as I look and flap my lips and talk about some of the psychological pieces, the hypnotic pieces, the mind mastery pieces of cranking your crypto. All right. So the top story is Bitcoin hits new record high, breaking 8,000 for the first time. Well, that's CNBC 3 hours ago. Well, we broke 8,000 like twice last week. Okay. So that's CNBC. They don't know what they're talking about. I only watch them to find out how they're thinking. I don't watch them for news. Do you understand? I don't watch any mainstream media for news. I do check in with them from time to time to see, what kind of spin they're putting on it, what the perception is of the larger media outlets. CoinDesk, Bitcoin's price climbs above 8,000 to hit new high. Okay. Cointelegraph, Bitcoin tops 8,000 as lightning triumphs and cash flounders. So we gotta have a winner and a loser always, right? However, I'm not gonna go into those articles because they're obviously fluff. And when we have headlines about a new high, what happens next? New high, pullback, right? So there may be a couple more days of new highs, then there'll be a pullback. And the thing is, these pullbacks are getting shorter, right? So that's interesting. And there is support here, and there is support about here. And get that little thing out of the way. So it will, at the very least, it's going to come back to its previous resistance, and probably will come back here. As you see, this last one came all the way back to its previous resistance and previous support. All right. So what I did yesterday is I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a little bit of my profits because my portfolio is growing, and I took a little bit of money. I took $100 and I put it into Bitcoin Cash. Why did I do that? When I have money, even if it's a little bit, I pay attention. There's some currencies that I'm keeping an eye on that I don't have money in yet. But the thing is, you got to keep your eye on some. so that when you do have a little extra money, you can put it in and hopefully find a good entry point. So Bitcoin Cash on the 1 hour chart, we have a pretty good sideways trading range, but the bottoms are moving up. I just wanted you to see that, and we have, let's make it a little bigger, we have double tops. All right? That's the pattern that I love. And maybe it makes me a newbie trader. But whenever I see this pattern, it seems to work. It goes up. What happens is the rising support from the bottom pushes up against this invisible ceiling and then creates upward pressure, and then something will set it off and it'll light up and it'll go up, right? So Bitcoin Cash, I have a little in it, and we're going to see. Let's go to Dash. In Dash, just down here, we had kind of a similar kind of a breakout, and in this one, the bottoms were actually lower, but we had kind of a sideways motion. But the support was here. It had some really good support. It wasn't just dumping, right? And I figured, okay, I think I bought it back here. I bought it back in the summer, and I'd just been holding it. And sometimes you got to just wait it out through kind of one of these news disturbances and where the attention is someplace else. And so it looks to me on Dash like we have a little bit of a bullish flag here. And, if you even just, that to me is looking like, okay, it wants to go. And we have resistance around 500. But if it's 445, what's to stop it from going to 500, right? It's a good project. It works. I am now getting my Bitcoin mining payouts in Dash because they're small transactions, and Dash works really well for small transactions. You see what's happening? Certain coins are demonstrating what they're good at. That's going to happen more and more as we get into this. And again, we are very early, people. You are early. You're finally to the party on time. You've been late all your life. This is your chance to and I want you to absorb. I want you to learn. I want you to get this because it's simple once you get it, but there's a lot that seems complicated. And essentially, you can do this. Anyone can do this with a little patience, a little persistence, and a little discipline, which most of us don't have. Why don't we have it? Because we haven't been trained or taught that that's what we're supposed to have. We've been taught that the government will take care of us, right? Or that the company will take care of us, or that the institution will take care of us. But ultimately, we are the world, you and I. So that's how I do it. I weave my little philosophical thoughts and musings through this. And if you like it, great. If not, that's okay too. I'm going to still do this every morning, and you're welcome to join me. And so far, it's working. My portfolio is up significantly. I think it's up significantly. So, Dash, I'm looking at the 1 hour chart, and you see we have support here. See if I can make this a little bigger here. We have, on the 1 hour chart, a nice little sideways trading channel that kind of really goes up. That's the kind of stuff I look for. If I wanted to get in today, this might be a little get in thing. But I'm already in. So it's, ultimately you want to buy low and sell high, but you also want to know, okay, if I wait, it's not coming back, right? Some of these don't come back. This one could be, it has the sideways trading range now from 420 all the way up to 479. And it has shown no indication that it wants to go anywhere south of that. But it's working its way up. I love a sideways trading channel. And I would look at Dash. If I had no Dash, I would go, wow, look at the length of the sideways trading channel. That's support. That's a price that's being locked in. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? It's early. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? It's the price is just demonstrating over and over and over and over and over again that it's an accepted price level, and people are trading it back and forth within a narrow range. That's the price. And the price is in people's minds. Again, the hypnosis of money, people. So you have to be a little bit of a contrarian and look and go, okay, is there any reason that those people are idiots or wrong? Well, no, it's the market. This is what the market is doing. And that's why I love, on the 1 hour chart, I'd love to see a sideways trading range, because for me, it makes me feel like my downside risk is a lot less, but my upside risk is there because the people are using it, people are engaged in it, and it's holding its value. And people notice that, like, oh, it's holding its value. It went up, and then it didn't just crash back, right? Bitcoin goes up, and then it comes back, up, and then it comes back. This thing, and then it had a nice, solid, steady rise before that, and a sideways trading range. So it's like, okay, each coin is a different collection of people making agreements with each other, if you think about it, as to what the price is. And so by watching these charts every day, you kind of get a sense of what the rhythm and the energy of it is. Most people won't invest that time. I hope you'll invest about a half hour every day here on the Morning Cryptos, and I'll walk you through some of the major projects, because I don't mess around with flaky fly-by-night projects. I only am dealing with the higher and the mid-capital, the higher and mid-cap programs. And I'm looking for more, and I have a couple new ones that I'm going to be telling you guys about soon. But let's grind through here. Let's get to a one-day chart. And again, anything here is not to be construed as trading advice. I kind of have to say that because I live in America, and God forbid someone says, oh, you said to do that, and then they don't make a ton of money. I mean, everybody's looking for somebody to blame in the U.S., and that's sad. But this is not trading advice. You do what you need to do, but you get to watch me. You get to watch me, and if I make a mistake, you'll go, that guy's an idiot. He made a mistake, but you'll learn, right? If I do something right, hopefully you'll learn. EOS is really, this is a one-day chart, people. EOS is cranking. Let's try to put it a little in perspective. EOS really had a rise, and this is a project that is really designed to do what Ethereum does and more, to be able to handle millions of transactions a second, where developers can build apps on the back of this program, on the back of this blockchain, or whatever the hell it is. I don't even know if it's a blockchain, but it is as advanced as we can be, and it hasn't even fully launched. It's still an Ethereum token. So you have time, but it's really low, right? And you can get a lot of it for a couple bucks. So $100 in EOS, and you're doing pretty well. However, right this second, I don't know if it's the best time to get in. Let's look at the 1 hour chart, because it's in a lift. And I highly recommend not chasing a runaway market. However, see this lift here, this 1 day lift? That's a runaway market. But now it's in a trading pattern. Now we can go, okay, it's rising. The bottoms are all higher. It's making a channel rising in a channel on the 1 hour chart. But look at it. It's at the bottom of its channel, right? That's a buy signal, right? If you want to get into it, that's a buy signal. It's still early enough in the project, so it's a $1.80 for one, right? $1.90. If it came back lower, sure, buy lower. But it's moving up. If you want to get in, get a little. Get $100 worth. That's what I've done, except I think I've added to my thing. So I think I have maybe about $500 worth. So, and it's kind of fun to watch your $100 start to grow. If you want to start small, that's the beauty of this. You don't have to have $1 million to get started. You can get started with $20 at Coinbase every day. And I'm talking to some of you newbies here. Some of you have asked me, how do I get started? What's the first thing to do? The first thing to do is go to Coinbase and open an account there and start buying Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. And personally, I would tend to prefer Litecoin and Ethereum at this moment. However, you can dollar cost average there and just automate it and buy $20 of each every day. Or 10% of your income. Start buying cryptos, but do it intelligently, okay? Then the next step is to get yourself an Exodus wallet. You can trade a lot of different things in Exodus. It's a really good product. And the third level is getting yourself on an exchange like GDAX, which is connected with Coinbase, or Bittrex, right? Bittrex, you have a lot more choices. GDAX is just kind of like Coinbase on steroids for when you have a little more experience. So the thing is, though, there's plenty of time, but don't wait. You know what I mean? You're in early, but I don't know how early is going to last. And the sooner you get in, and the sooner you get in and get your experience, the sooner you're going to do well in the space. So that's some of my advice. Let's keep moving here. And you don't have to take my advice, by the way. It's just what I've done, and it's worked pretty well for me, right? You do what you need to do. Ethereum is looking like it broke out of its channel. See this sideways channel that I was talking about? I love these sideways channels. And so now our next kind of support level is here, which was a resistance level. And our next resistance level is up here with these huge double tops, these massive double tops. Right? So it depends on your time frame. These double tops have been saying to me it's going to go, right? But they're so big that it's taken it a while to work its way back up. And it really has been in a sideways trading range pretty much since August, right? And I've just been buying Ethereum. And if I knew then what I know now, because I now have several more months of experience, I would have been buying a lot more Ethereum, right? So, and the cool thing is yesterday, my girlfriend was getting some stuff for Thanksgiving, and she's like, "Hey, you could pay me, your portion in Ethereum." And so I sent it to her. It literally took a second, cost less than 7 cents. And that was nice. If I had sent her $50 or $100 of Bitcoin, it might have cost a significantly larger amount, and it would have taken all day to get there probably, right? Or at least several hours. So ain't using Bitcoin for that kind of stuff. But what are people using Bitcoin for? They're just putting money into it and holding it because it keeps going up, and it looks like a lot more money is coming in soon, and it's going to go up even higher. We're talking about $10,000 in Bitcoin. So, and again, I'm holding what I have, and I'm just letting it grow, but I'm not putting any more into it yet because I think there's better opportunities with the knowledge I have. But someone who has no knowledge and has just heard of Bitcoin, it's still a good time to get in. Not a bad time to buy. And I would get Bitcoin, and I would get some Bitcoin Cash. Just because you don't know if Bitcoin Cash is actually going to give Bitcoin a run for their money, because they have increased the block sizes and the transaction times are much faster and the fees are much lower. And it's basically the same software. It's the same thing, just a different group of developers who are not owned by Blockstream, which is owned by AXA Insurance Company, which is run by this guy Henry de Castries, who is part of the ruling elite. So interesting, the decentralized people's money. Interesting. So, a lot of stuff to think about. Ethereum is looking good, and let's look at the 1 hour chart. Now we have a little consolidation here. That's sweet, right? I like seeing that. That means it's getting used to that new price. So good. All right, let's move on. And I got to do this faster. I got a lot of these coins. I keep getting more and more coins that I'm watching. IOTA, keeping an eye on it. I don't have any. It's not easy to get. It's, I think, available on Bitfinex, not Bittrex. So whatever. It's really early in the project, and it's still less than $1. So there will be other opportunities, and that's, again, a newish project. Litecoin. This is what I love. I love Litecoin, and I have to say I'm a little too emotionally attached to it, but I like it. And this is where if I take a profit from another trade, I will put it into Litecoin, and this is also where I'm going to continue to buy, because I think it's just as steady as an altcoin can be, right? And it's moved up. It has a nice, beautiful sideways trading range moving up. And if you want, I'll draw the line. And boom, the bottoms are all higher, right? And boom, the tops have been, right? So you can just kind of see in this trading range, I have a sell stop on Bittrex at like 91 something. And I'm not going to take all my profits, but I'm going to take a little profits. Haven't done that before. That's an area I'm learning, right? So, and I'm giving myself the time. I'm not in a rush, right? It's cranking up. So as it increases in prices, I take a little bit of Litecoin and buy something else with it. Or a little bit of Ethereum and buy something else with it, but then any profits I'll put back into Litecoin or Ethereum. That's my plan, and it could change, but that's what I'm thinking. All right, let's go to the 1 hour chart. Tazupa. And again, it's looking sweet on the 1 hour chart. We have a little consolidation, but it's sitting nicely on support here, the $70 range. And I would not be surprised if today it doesn't, go for another chunk of up. All right. Neo. I do not have any Neo, but kind of wishing I did. But you know what? Can't do it all. Can't have it all. Neo is looking like this to me could be bullish flag or it could be a wedge, depending on what it. I would say it's probably more of a bullish flaggishness. We got rising bottoms, and the thing is we have, you could call this a double top. I mean, again, this is like you're looking at the stars and seeing constellations. It could be anything. It's your mind. The human mind is making sense of something that probably has no sense, but there is a pattern, and it's detecting the pattern and making decisions based on it. So if you're into Neo, it looks like it's getting ready for another lift. Because the bottoms are higher, we have a little double top kind of action here, and it's consolidating, and so keep an eye on it. Omise Go and the US dollar. That's the 1 day chart. Omise Go is starting to rise a little bit, but not crazily, and there's a triple top here. This top, and this top, bottoms are higher. It's going to go, right? You're going to watch this. And right now, I think the alts have been quiet for a while. I think they're going to get ready to go. These patterns, upward bottoms, resistance on the tops, going to go. And I have some, so that's good. Quantum, US dollar. Quantum is doing just nicely, thank you. I wanted it to go to 15. Thought I might take profits at 15, but I think I'm going to hang on. I'm just going to hold on with Quantum. I think think that highly of the project. I think I have 205 of them. So if it gets to 30, I might sell those 5 and take profits, pay off some of my credit cards. That's what I'm thinking, but we'll see. Right now, I'm pretty happy hanging on. And I just keep seeing that the people that have just held on long term do the best. The day traders, it's really hard. You're constantly making decisions and you're constantly taking action, and it's easy to screw stuff up. This is Monero. Monero on the 1-day chart. And I think Monero is going for its resistance here in the 150-ish, 140 to 160 range. So that's where I will be looking to see what's going on with Monero. Get that up to 140. So, whoops. All right, come on. There we go. So I think that, excuse me. That's one spot. Also, the 150 spot. That's I think where it's going to go. I have one of those. I shouldn't tell you that because it's supposed to be a secret. Monero's secret. And there's a great talk, by the way, by Andreas Antonopoulos. Go to his YouTube channel, Andreas Antonopoulos, and just check him out. He just did a brilliant talk. There's a recent talk he gave in October, and he uploaded it just the other day. And he talks about, the reality is that people are not using these cryptos just to buy drugs or commit crimes, right? So real people, real, normal, honest people want to keep their money private, particularly from the extortionists called the governments, right? So that's it. I'm also keeping an eye on salt, and I'm keeping an eye on something called the Basic Attention Token. And I'll talk about that more and probably in a special. I'm also looking at watching Civic. I think I have some Civic. And I bought as it was going down, and it looks like it's going to give a little boost. So that's it for today, people. And let's go back to Mama Papa Bitcoin. And yeah, we're probably going for 9 or 10 pretty soon. And then if it keeps going up above 8,000, the headlines will all be, are we in for a correction? Are we in for a crash? Is this a Ponzi scheme? Is this a bubble? Is this a fraud? All the same stuff comes up. And every time it comes up, it generates more news. The more news, the more people hear about it. The more people hear about how it's going up so fast, the more they check it out. There's a bunch of documentaries. Go to YouTube and type in the search bar, Bitcoin documentary. There's like 4 or 5 really good ones that feature people like Roger Ver and Andreas Antonopoulos and Eric Voorhees and some other people who I don't quite recognize. And there's a story. There's a story behind it. There's a mythological being who created it, Satoshi Nakamoto. This could become the next religion. Be careful, right? You could get sucked into a cult of Bitcoin, the Bitcoin cult. Do you believe? Are you a true believer? So have fun with it, people. Enjoy and realize that nobody knows where this is going. And nobody knew where the internet was going either. And nobody knew where cell phones were going either. And nobody knew how email was going to change the world. But they have changed the world, and we're not going back, right? We are not going back. And the next thing is, can we use this to keep ourselves from destroying the planet? That's the next thing, right? Is this a more sustainable financial system that kind of cuts governments out of the loop of making and controlling the money supply so they can control us and go to war for their own nefarious purposes? So there's a little philosophy you may or may not agree with. I just like it. I like freedom. I want to do what I want, when I want, how I want, where I want, with whom I want, when I want, how I want. Yeah, with whom I want, when I want. Yeah, all that stuff. So that's it for today. This is Monday, November 20th, and it is day 113 of my journey deep down into the beautiful rabbit hole of Bitcoin and the altcoins. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. If you like music, check out my music. I just finished and released my new CD, The Key to Your Cage, yesterday, and that's available on Bandcamp, and it will be available on Amazon.com very soon. So check that out. I'll leave a link below here, and I think that's it. If you're a man, check out my Better Man project. I am doing another challenge, and every day I am making videos for young men, middle-aged men, old men, all men who want something better, not just with women, but with their money, their mind, their health, their life. So it's all about becoming better, because this is better money. Let's face it, it's better money. The internet is a better market. And let's become better people in the process. All right, so that's it for now. Mark Shepard, over and out. Thank you so much. I appreciate all you new subscribers. And let's start the music now.